I have this delicate little bell. I used to have this one. I've changed it. So this evening we are celebrating Karen Klein's photography. And I would like to say I have known Karen since the 1990s when she was with the city of Omaha in planning, and she was the only voice in city planning that understood environmental and believed in it. You know, she was environmental. And she was so great to work with. And when she retired, like I said to you, the city went dark. There was just no one channeling environmental, you know. So, but what it did do when she retired was it gave her a chance to totally expand her photography, which is a blessing for all of us. And so, Karen, if you would please, I give you Karen Klein and her wonderful nature photography.
Because I ended up, in discussing things with people, I ended up with the idea of windows into nature kind of being a big theme. We're calling this light on water because photography is all about light, and water is one of the most fun things that connects with light. But the windows into nature is something that I've had different kinds of discussions with people, and so I'm going to kind of focus on that. And I'm basically going to kind of just read, because it's like I'm dealing with allergies and medication, and I'm probably not totally just there, you know. So I'm going to start with a quote from a reading that my friend sent me a few weeks ago. It had many beautiful statements, but this is one I really like for this purpose. The joy of looking and comprehending is nature's most beautiful gift. To me, the idea about the windows into nature has a couple of different meanings. One of them is about framing parts of nature and the environment. In a discussion with a couple of landscape architect friends about my nature photography and the idea that nature is art, one of them said, the human brain wants to see composition in nature. That made so much sense. We look at nature and we're trying to see order in the chaos. There is order. I once found myself describing a photo that had a lot of different elements as kind of like jazz, notes and polyrhythms, call and response, repetitions and spirals, and parts that take flight into mystery. It's about noticing not just the larger landscapes and views, but a focus on the closer aspects. The patterns, the details, the feeling of being immersed in nature that surrounds you. I just create some of the windows and frame them for you so that you notice them. That's my artist superpower. The second meaning that is, I'll say maybe more esoteric, where this other friend once commented and said, your photos often have an ethereal and otherworldly dimension with a bit of melancholy. And I think that's something that I don't consciously, it's like it just, it's an opportunistic kind of a situation. But I sometimes see my photos when I'm looking at them as kind of like windows into another dimension, that we have a wall of reality blocking. Yet they're a reality too, just overlooked. They're existing if you stop and pay attention. They're possibilities of dimensions that are not exactly in your consciousness right now. The windows into other places, they're all around, but we have difficulty noticing and comprehending. Nature and art, and especially when nature is art, brings us closer to comprehending the magic and mystery and breaking through a perception of separation. I'm thinking that I almost should stop there because that's so magical. But some of the other things, I guess, kind of notes that I've had that are more of the practical sense. That part of the challenge in my photography is that my naturalist side, as a Nebraska master naturalist, but also interested before I even became one, is documenting phenomena in nature, and sometimes the focus is documenting more than art. Sometimes it is the art of capturing the moment and feeling and composition. Sometimes I'm trying to overlap those things, and the ephemeral aspect can provide a challenge. It's so much quicker to see and capture moments in photography compared to doing other art forms. And the result is that a lot of times there are so many, the products are numerous compared to other art forms, and part of the work is trying various shots as things change. A lot of times I might go to, well, I think I've given up on this kind of, trying to recreate something that I've seen before the previous year, or time of day or something like that, that I've observed, and it's just not going to be the same. It involves being a naturalist. Sometimes that predominates. Another thing that has been commented by some friends, that I have more ice and winter photography than a lot of people do. And I wrote to someone that I find that winter brings out the opportunity to see a side of nature that we often miss because we're avoiding the discomfort of cold. So, layers, wool, all that good stuff. But trees, especially in the winter, have a character when we see the skeleton not hidden by leaves and fewer distractions of other green and flowering plants. And then snow also amplifies or simplifies the visual context and really allows their character to stand out. And the darkness and moodiness of winter taps into emotions that are a beautiful part of us, no less than the bright and sunny parts that are more conventionally pretty. Ice also is so interesting and dynamic, full of textures and lines and reflections and sounds. And there are changes with the processes of freezing and impacts of wind and thawing. I have a few ice photos here, but I have so many from Cunningham Lake and places like that, and Lake Michigan. And I guess just to summarize, I will say that I have been blessed with an affinity for nature. That photography for me is about discovery, enjoying the ephemeral aspects, being instinctive more than planning and arranging, having my interest caught by something. It is actually about love for our earth.
So can you quickly say where a couple of these are? I think that one's Heron Haven, isn't it?
Yes, this is Heron Haven.
Which is in Omaha.
And that's in Omaha, and this is another example. I think when I was out just a year or two later, I was looking for where I took that. This is gone.
Yeah.
They did some work on,
Right.
doing some stabilization or something. It's not there
Yeah,
anymore.
Heron Haven is like 120th and Maple.
There are other photos to be taken there, but that particular scene would not be able to be found.
Right. That's Niobrara.
Yeah, this is the Northern Chute up on the Niobrara River by the Nature Conservancy's preserve.
Which we could lose as the river, as that head cut goes up.
It's an erosion.
You'll lose that head cut and it'll just expand the whole river, and then that photo will definitely be a piece of history.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so where's the winter scene?
That one up there is on the Susquehanna River in Pennsylvania, from when Steve was working there and got me to go places I would not have gone otherwise.
Very good, very good.
It's as the river would fall and rise, it made ice sheets. I have photos of trees with that sort of thing, where they have a big ring around them with icicles, and then the river below.
So do you have a favorite one up there, Karen?
At the moment, it's this one.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why exactly, because I've had it for a few years, and I think I didn't really notice it. until now. I have almost 30,000 photos on my computer. Going back to 2011, I think.
So where is that one?
This is
Mille Lacs.
Mille Lacs. Yes,
Lake.
in Minnesota, Mille Lacs Lake.
Very cool.
Yes.
Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, one, go ahead. How long have you been taking pictures?
I first picked up a camera when I was taking a landscape architecture class at Iowa State. And I hear people say, oh, when I was a child, whatever. No, I was in college. And I got a Canon A1. We had to do a slide presentation or something like that. And I have taken photos, throughout my whole life on vacations and at, places like Cunningham Lake. And probably just started taking it more seriously after I retired.
Yeah. Was there another question over there?
I did have one, yes. I have a question about I can't remember what it was, the little cherry that looks
The Grand Cherry
The
Lanterns.
Yeah, where's that taken?
That was up at Cunningham Lake.
That is gorgeous.
It looks really great, huge too.
Well, that was gonna be my next question.
Yes.
Actually, do you have it in big?
Yes, I
Is it in
did.
big size?
It's hanging up.
Is it long? Is it vertical or horizontal?
It's exactly like this except big.
Bigger.
It's like the size. It's like the size of that one up
Yes,
there.
yes.
Yeah, it's like the size of the
Okay.
winter one on top.
Yes,
And you know you can eat those.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's ground cherry.
right.
Not the part, not the right.
Not when
You can eat the
they're
ground cherries.
not when they're green though.
No,
They have to
no.
be yellow.
Yeah, they have to be. They have to be ripe.
It's
Well,
a-
you could eat them green. You wouldn't want to.
But see, I learned that when I was a child growing up on the farm.
What? You ate them green?
No, but they're edible even.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you, Karen. We love your work. And real quick, we have a wine basket over here with a drawing that we'll be doing on Saturday. If you put your name in, you could win the wine basket. And everyone, we have reception bags on the little right there. The two top ones have wine in them. The bottom one is non-alcoholic, and they're for everyone to take. But now let's just, we can all chat with Karen and really look at her photos. And the rest of the gallery, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks, Karen.